All right. Well, welcome as I am joined here by RBC Olympian, Calgary Stampeders running back, and Canadian Olympic hopeful Kayden Johnson. Kayden, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Jamie, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute treat to have you on. I got to ask you right off the top. Carol Barrett, resident Saskatoon native. You have a connection, I understand, to the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. If you could tell us what the SJHL connection is.
Yeah, absolutely. So my brother, Colby Johnson, he played for the Kindersley Clippers. He played for them as a 16-year-old, and he was also the captain of the L'Orange Ice Wolves when he was 20 as well. So definitely the connection for the SJHL. I grew up watching the Clippers play too, so there's strong hockey roots in my family.
Very cool. I guess growing up, I understand that you weren't somebody that was big into sitting around indoors watching TV. You were outside all the time with your siblings. Just talk about that drive to get outside and keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't matter if it was the summer or the winter. I was always out with my brothers, my parents, who were doing different sports. That was hockey, skiing, and then in the summer it was track and field, football, basketball, volleyball, soccer. So just a wide variety, and also just hiking too. Just getting outside, going to the mountains, and going on some really long hikes, climbing mountains. So really active lifestyle.
I read somewhere that you were really big into doing backflips. Just tell me about the first time you landed a backflip, and what is it about backflips that you enjoy so much?
Yeah, I always thought backflips, they're a cool display of athleticism. And for myself, I wanted to be able to do a backflip. So my first time was about 4 years ago. And I found getting a backflip is not so much like you don't have to jump that high, but it's more so just committing to actually going backwards, your feet over your head, and just committing to the jump itself. The technique was just to tuck my hands around my knees and just roll over, because if you just commit to the jump, you'll find you're not going to land on your head. You're usually just going to land on your feet and your hands maybe, or you'll over rotate and land on your feet and your butt. But I definitely tried it out on grass.
Yeah, very cool. There's a lot of young people listening, a lot of young athletes that I'm sure would love to walk in your footsteps. Just what are a couple pieces of advice that you might provide them as they look to be a great athlete, be it in hockey, be it in football, or be it in the Olympics?
Yeah, it'd be to definitely be open-minded to all your opportunities, and of course work hard with training, because you never know what's going to pop up and different opportunities that are going to present themselves. So just be consistent with training, really trust and fall in love with the process too. Big changes aren't going to happen overnight. It's going to build up over time, and you just got to trust that. And once you start seeing that momentum of positive progress, you're just going to fall in love with it and just keep that momentum flowing.
For sure. A lot of people, it takes all their energy, their effort to become amazing, to become near the top of their sport. And, you're interested in, seems like, in a ton. And obviously getting into a contract in the Canadian Football League must have taken so much time and effort focusing on football specific things. But just talk about playing many different sports and having time and managing your time to be able to play so many different sports well.
Yeah, so my whole life I've always played different sports. My first sport was even gymnastics, so it's been a long road of just a plethora of sports, and doing more than one has always been what I'm used to. I'm not used to just doing one sport at a time, so that helped me become a better football player, make it to the CFL, become on Team Canada in 3 different sports, in track and field, bobsled, and football. Yeah. So just a wide variety of sports, and trying it all out and working hard, they all complement one another, and it makes it fun too to have variety.
Yeah, and speaking of variety, on Saturday in Saskatoon, there's a qualifier with the RBC Training Ground to I guess see what different type of athleticism we have, I guess, in this province. Talk about that event, how excited you are for it and what people can expect from it.
Yeah, so the RBC Training Ground, it's a combine, and that's where ages 14 to 25-year-olds can go to try out their skills in front of Olympic representatives, and for a chance to go to the Olympics and get funded by these groups. So it's a combine that tests out your speed, your power, your strength, your endurance. And it's such a great time, especially to introduce you to new sports as well. That after I did RBC Training Ground, that's when I got introduced to bobsled. Never tried it before. And then I was able to make Team Canada after being invited, and then RBC helps fund athletes as well for their Olympic dreams. And you never know what sport you can have Olympic potential in. For example, one of the Canadian bobsled athletes who was just at the Olympics, Mike Evelyn, he was a youth sports hockey player, and he tried out and did RBC Training Ground, and he was just representing Canada at this past Olympics. So all different sports can come. You can come try out as an athlete. You don't even have to be an athlete. Just you can show up and see how you test out and enjoy it, because the environment, all the coaches, all be there cheering you on. Like, it's a great time and an awesome opportunity.
Very cool. And obviously none of us would have any of the opportunities that we would have without our parents, and both your parents, incredible athletes. Maybe just quickly, who are your parents in terms of their athletic accomplishments, and what lessons did you gain from them being such high level athletes at their sports?
Yeah, I'm really lucky to have the pretty sporty parents who they both taught me and coached me. My mom, Angie, she went to University of Saskatchewan, where she was a goalie for their soccer team and also on their hockey team. And she was my basketball coach growing up, soccer coach, taught me some hockey too. And then my dad, he competed on Team Canada in the decathlon, which is 10 events in track and field in 2 days. And he is my track coach. He got me doing the decathlon as well, and got me on my first Canadian team in track and field as well.
That's awesome. All right, then, Kayden, I really appreciate your time. Just a last question, then. It's kind of two parts. What would it mean to you to represent Canada at the next Winter Olympics? And how has RBC helped you, see that dream as something that's possible?
It would mean everything to go to the next Olympics in Italy in 2026, represent Canada, and definitely go for an Olympic gold medal. It's always been a childhood dream of mine to go to the Olympics, and thanks to the help of RBC Training Ground and the RBC as a sponsor for me, they've had an amazing job funding me, giving me opportunities to seek new coaches and new public speaking events. And I just feel, as part of this RBC team, I have nothing stopping me in reaching my goal on getting to the next Olympics. So it's just fuel that fires me up every day, and I'm ready to get after it, and can definitely see my dreams come to reality.
Well, Kayden, thank you so much for your time, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Jamie. My pleasure.